Hey guys, what's up? It's Dan again from CryptoCamacho.com, and today, guys, I have a treat for you. I want to review an ICO that's in the digital marketing space. They're aiming to create a marketplace within the digital marketing arena, and I'm really bullish on this ICO because I come from a digital marketing background. I've been doing it for, 20 years at this point. I'm very, very familiar with the technology that's out there currently, very familiar with what you can and can't do in the industry. And we all know digital marketing has literally blown up in the last 3 to 5 years. It is blown up for enterprises, for small businesses, for independent people that want to use digital marketing technology. You can find digital marketing applications for literally anything. And this ICO that I'm going to review hits that sweet spot in the digital marketing space. And what they're ultimately trying to do is create a marketplace for influencers to connect with advertisers. This has been done before, but never been done on the blockchain, and which is why I think this ICO is actually very interesting and very compelling. Let's jump right into it, guys. The name of the ICO is Social Media Market. Social Media Market, socialmedia.market. You can go to that website. You'll come here. And let's just look at the basics, right? Monetize your influence. Decentralized influencer advertising marketplace. There's an ICO that starts on February 9th. Hasn't started quite yet, but it will be starting in about 14 days, a little bit longer, right? 14 days, 13 hours. This is the total number of tokens that will be available in that ICO. They're calling them SMTs, or social media tokens. You can go ahead and sign up. This ICO is, getting good ratings. I mean, from all these different agencies out there that are now popping up to review ICOs, to legitimize ICOs, to, prevent scamming from ICOs. They all got good ratings on this social media market token, right? A 5.0 from Track ICO, 4.2 from ICO Bench, 4.0 from Token Tops, and AAA from ICO Bazaar. So that's very promising in and of itself, but let's dig into what this ICO is actually doing, what the project is actually aiming to accomplish, and I'll touch on all this, guys. I'm very, very familiar with what they're trying to do here because like I said, I come from the digital marketing space, and I've seen this before, but never on the blockchain, right? I mean, you see companies like Isaiah and others that have been trying to connect influencers with advertisers for a very, very long time, and it's been very difficult to do for a variety of reasons, and the blockchain will hopefully solve a lot of these problems, and I have a lot of faith in this particular ICO to do just that, right? So let's read through it, and I'll explore and explain what exactly this is. Socialmedia.market is the first decentralized marketplace connecting social media bloggers and advertisers, like I just said, right? Solving major influencer marketing problems, it will create new opportunities for content monetization, community engagement, and audience exposure. New ecosystem driven by blockchain technology and social media token will simplify marketing interaction between businesses and influencers. And I can speak from personal experience that this is very, very difficult to do. Years ago, I worked for a company called Symantec. They make Norton antivirus software. I worked for that company in a marketing capacity for quite some time. And we did actually try to run some campaigns where we were trying to connect with influencers in the security space, for example. And it was a very difficult thing to do, right? We had to reach out individually, independently to each one of the influencers out there. We had to, come up with a completely separate or independent contract with that particular advertiser. With that particular influencer, and we had to do that for every single one. So you can imagine if you have a few influencers that you want to work with, the contracts can be a headache. The structuring of the offers can be a headache. The payment options can be a headache, especially with a large corporation. I've experienced it firsthand, and so I'm very hopeful that this ICO will solve some of those problems, because if you can literally do the transactions on the blockchain using SMT tokens, this engagement with advertisers and influencers will be tremendously easier. It'll be a whole lot easier, right? You'll literally go into the blockchain, you'll see what influencers are available, you'll see how much it costs to have them, promote whatever it is you're promoting. You'll come to the contract agreement right then and there on the blockchain, and everything will be verified through the blockchain, and you'll pay those influencers with SMT or social media tokens as described here. So let's look through this a little bit more, but I wanted to give you some background and insight into why I think this is going to be valuable, why I think it's going to be a success, because I've experienced it firsthand, and it was a very difficult thing to do, and these guys are aiming to solve that, which is what I really like about it, right? So, okay, how does this work? Socialmedia.market will create a global marketplace for advertisers and influencers among every major social network, providing convenient and transparent tools for the interaction of any party involved. For maintaining commercial relationships between partners, again, this was a pain point that I had, socialmedia.market will use blockchain technology to simplify integration, reduce fraud, and costs for all market participants. That's the number one thing that I found to be very difficult doing this independently without a platform like Social Media Market, right? And that's why I think this is interesting. Token value is going to be upheld not only by the transaction means within platform services, but also supported with the ability to participate in the decentralized dispute solution system, gaining additional earnings for token holders, okay? So here this kind of explains, what the current situation is. There's bloggers, there's influencers on social media, Facebook, YouTube. Just go to YouTube and you can see all the influencers there, right? And then you got brands, big name brands for enterprise companies, smaller name brands for small businesses, and even individuals in some cases want to get notoriety, want to be, have their own personal brand, if you will. And there's this chasm between them. There's this chasm that makes it difficult for bloggers and brands to interact because of fraud, because of, pricing is uncertain and has to always be structured individually. Complicated transactions. If you work for a corporate company, a Fortune 500 company, it's often very hard to do transactions, with bloggers, with YouTubers, with whoever, these kind of people are that work on social media, because they don't have like corporate backing, to produce an invoice and to do all these things that sometimes corporations require. And so it's very hard to interact with them, right? And the partnership can be very, very complex. So I think they hit it right on when they called out all of these areas here. And this kind of just highlights that again. The state of digital marketing in 2017 is huge. It's enormous, guys. And these numbers are likely outdated already because, we're now in 2018 and these numbers are going up significantly every single year. Every dollar spent creates $11.69 in return for influencer marketing. And really for all of digital marketing, I would say this really applies. And they kind of hit on these stats because the opportunity in digital marketing is huge. Just in digital marketing itself, not even talking about blockchain, the opportunity in digital marketing is enormous. And I know I've been in it for 20 years, guys. It's an enormous market with angles every which way you can possibly think. And I think this is a good accompaniment to that. So now it says, meet the new generation of online advertising with the first decentralized ecosystem to discover, create, and analyze advertising campaigns with social media influencers. So not only are they going to provide the intermediary to do business, with influencers or bloggers, depending on which side you sit, they're also going to provide analytics of those interactions and those campaigns that are executed by those influencers to give you the best results, right? And I can see down the road, they'll start looking at all of the metrics across all of the campaigns, across all of the influencers, and they'll start tailoring the offers and the successes based on the outcomes that they've seen in the past. Again, something very, very interesting and very smart in the marketing space, and why I think this, again, has some more potential. So guys, there's 3.3 billion in the social media audience, and there's 77.3 billion spent on digital marketing every year. So this market is enormous, right? So definitely hit into a big market. The token functionality itself, its core functionality will be maintained by a utility token, which is called the social media token, the SMT, which I just talked about. Every platform activity will require SMTs to ensure transactions, campaign, and contract creation and data validity. So basically, you're going to pay for your campaigns through SMT tokens, right? You're going to track your analytics through SMT tokens. And the way they structure this, I'm not quite sure. We'll dig into the white paper here in just a second. But this really just kind of goes through how the token will actually operate, right? For influencers, you can create a self-promotion campaign. You can donate. You can, purchase tools for analytics. All kinds of things. For brands and agencies, you can acquire, personal marketing assistance, blah, blah, blah. You can read through this all on your own, but I think there's some definite use cases here to touch on. The team. Okay, so the team, they have a number of advisors, US-based and international-based. They have legal counsel. Let's go through. I want to look at the founders here really quick. Some other locals in San Francisco right here. Century Natural Foods is actually a really interesting one because that is becoming very big and popular in California. It's actually blowing up because it's related to the medical marijuana and now the recreational marijuana laws. And this guy is the COO of Century Natural Foods, which has actually been blowing up. So that gives me some confidence as well that he's an early adopter into markets that are about to blow up. Again, in blockchain, early adopter. So I like that he's an advisor to this company. Our team, Dmitry Shishov and Alexandra Morozova, they are the founders, right? He's the founder, and she's the co-founder and the CMO. Let's jump real quick over to their LinkedIn profiles. I always like to take a quick look at their LinkedIn profiles just to make sure they have legitimate background, they have experience in the field that they're promoting and working in. But just real quick, Dmitry, a passionate entrepreneur, the CEO and founder of R Games and Notina Limited, operating games and esports industries. over the 3 years. So he does have experience in, this type of technology in marketing and things like that, because in the gaming industry, that's very, very big. So that gives me some confidence in him. Alexandra is the marketing person behind the R Games and Notina Limited, so it looks like those two have worked together in the past. And she is the one working with influencers in the game and esports industry on a daily basis. Very interesting. She has more than 10 years experience in digital marketing, worked on marketing campaigns with Apple, Sony, Dell, Asus, Microsoft, so forth and so on. So she seems like she's kind of the brainchild behind some of this, and she gets it from an experience standpoint. If you have ever done work with influencers, if you've been on one side of the influencer aisle or the advertiser aisle, you'll know it's very difficult to connect these people. And so she probably gets that better than anybody else, and which is why she's the CMO of the company, right? Jumping over to their LinkedIn profiles really quickly for Dimitri, let's just look at his background really quick. Social media is obviously for a year. He's been doing that. Let's see. R Games has been around for 4 years. Notina Limited, 2 years, again, in the esports industry, which we just talked about. So they do have experience there. I'm really interested to look at Alexandra's profile a little bit more. She's been with this company for a year. Chief Marketing Officer of Nontita Limited, and again, that's the esports industry. Fibrum, 7 months. Marketing, again. D-House, again, marketing. So she gets it. She's been around the block in terms of marketing, and she knows how to handle these situations. She knows what influencer marketing is and how difficult it is for advertisers to connect with influencers to do campaigns like we're talking about here. Let's see. Let's take a quick look over at their social media profiles. They got a lot of them. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin Talk profile, and let's also look at their Telegram channel. I think I already got that open here. Yep. Okay. Here's their Telegram channel. 3,171 members. Not bad. I would expect it to be a little bit higher given it's in the social media and digital marketing space. I would think that they would have a little bit bigger of a presence here. I don't know when this launched, though. It's possible that it's fairly new, but definitely go and join because you can ask any questions you'd like about the ICO. If you look at Bitcoin Talk, we got 27 pages, and this was posted on October 19th. Not as big as some of the other reviews that I've done, but still pretty decent in terms of size. This, again, just talks about kind of what they are. We've gone through some of this. I don't really want to look at this again. We'll look at the white paper here in a second, and you can look at it. But look at what I really want to get to is the comments here. Okay. Need to say that this will take a while to read all of your documents, okay? But at first sight, the project seems very interesting. I will definitely monitor this project. Nice potential. I think it's a good decision to utilize social media as a shape of advertising or marketing tools. This day, social media already became everyday. Okay, I'm not going to read through all this, but I just want you to get a sense of what people are thinking about when they're looking at this particular ICO and how people are thinking. You can go here yourself, of course, read through all the comments, just to make sure you're comfortable with this ICO yourself. This will give you a lot of answers to your questions and a lot of feedback of what kinds of people are engaging in this project, right? And how many people are engaging in this project. I do want to look at like one previous page here. How you participate in the crowd sale. Here's how you participate in the crowd sale. I look forward to it. I'm sure you can beat records. So a lot of bullish and optimistic, comments in that forum there. So very, very optimistic on that as well. Let's see what else here. I do want to jump into the white paper here. Let's jump into, okay, this is the short white paper. And let's look at this really quick. I do like the way they've graphically done this. Pretty nice, right? Gives, again, some of the overviews I've already given, how it works. We've already talked about this as well. The token economy, I will try. Let me zoom in on this so you guys can see this a little bit. All right. So this is, really how the platform itself will work. So brands will come and make payments through smart contracts. They'll be holding SMT tokens to actually pay the influencers, right? Agencies may get commissions for connecting the two together, brands and influencers, and those SMT tokens can be utilized for commissions as well, which is pretty interesting as well. The influencers will receive payments via SMT tokens, via smart contracts through the platform. Payments for their own channel development, decentralized dispute solution. So they're building out kind of this separate arm as well to have decentralized solutions that can be utilized through this platform. And then of course Okay, so let's look through these benefits here. Let me zoom out a little. Okay, so there are some privileges and advantages for token holders. If you hold 15,000 SMT tokens, Premium tools for brands and bloggers. Looks like you'll have access to some premium tools. If you own 10,000, you'll have access to their decentralized dispute solution system. Again, a way to make money. If you own 5,000, reduced service fee, and 5,000 agents admission. So you can get commissions for start connecting advertisers and influencers. The worldwide launch of this platform is going to be in Q1 of 2019. So they're going to be in development this entire year of 2018, and they're going to do their token sale. Their platform will be released in probably 6 months in 2018, which is good to know as well. And really the team, the token sale here you can look at. Token sale, the phase 1 has been finished. We're going into phase 2. Phase 1. Actually, I'm going to look on the website here. Give me 1 second. Okay, so the actual ICO starts in 14 days, like I said. So phase 1 was the pre-sale ICO, and they did already raise some money. So the actual ICO is coming up. Let's look at their white paper. Okay, so here's their white paper, and I want to look for something like their benefits. This white paper is 58 pages, so they obviously have a very in-depth business plan, which we can look through a little bit, but I don't want to spend too much time looking through that because I want to find the core benefits here. Social media, decentralized, ecosystem, discover, create. Yep, we already went through that. Okay, here's some advantages. Okay, here's some benefits and advantages. A short list of advantages. Socialmedia.market will provide all parties as a service, transparency, and in a competitive marketplace. A wide range of social media platforms will be utilized on the platform. Reduced operational costs and fees when working with influencer campaigns. I can completely attest to that from personal experience. You will have significantly reduced operational costs by using something like this because you won't have to individually connect with an influencer for every campaign that you want to run. You won't have to individually connect with an influencer to structure pricing, to structure contracts, to make payments. It'll all be done through the platform. So that's very, very cool, I think. And that's a reason why a lot of these others haven't worked out, because of the complexity that requires, one-to-one relationships like this. So hopefully the blockchain will help resolve this. Accessible and easy to use, even for small businesses. So small businesses will be able to access and have smaller budgets on this, which I think is very interesting. Smart partnership for a wide range of users with the ability to create smart contracts tailored to specific needs using templates and smart tips. So you can structure your deals however you want through smart contracts in the blockchain, which I really like about this solution as well. It's fair. It's the ultimate resort, smart planning, real-time analytics, and data science. I like that. They're thinking to build a data science and analytics engine on top of this, which I think is very fascinating and will lead to other business models for them, which is a good sign that this idea is going to be longer term than just the initial platform of connecting advertisers and influencers. I could see them selling the data in the future. I could see them analyzing the data with AI in the future and then selling it. I could see all kinds of different things being developed from this platform. Third-party apps they could develop, right? Advantages of SMTs, social media tokens. Safe, low cost, fast, all your typical things I think that you would like to see. And then it gets into the specific advantages for influencers, for advertisers. And I do want to see their decentralized dispute solution a little bit. And this may take a little bit more reading, so I won't go through all of it per se. Okay, data science. Yep, that is exactly what they're doing, what I just said. Big data analytics. In the future, longer term, when this platform starts to take off, they're going to start creating data applications on top of it, which they will ultimately sell and use for themselves. Think of Netflix, guys. Netflix did the same thing. They started out as a movie producer selling or shipping DVDs in little envelopes to every house. They don't do that anymore, do they? Now Netflix is a big data company that produces movies based on the data that they have. They're going to do something like this. They're not going to create movies, but you can see why this is powerful and how they can leverage the data to create other business models in the future, right? That's the interesting part of this, guys. And that's really about it. I want to see... Yeah, that's really it, guys. I have some faith in this ICO. I think it's very interesting. I'm curious to see how much traction it will get in the ICO. I'll be reading about it more. I'll be monitoring it a bit more, and I'll give you some updates on this. But I'm curious to know what your thoughts are about socialmedia.market, what your thoughts are about a marketplace that connects influencers and advertisers. Do you think this is a viable business opportunity to be built on blockchain? Do you think blockchain is the right place for something like this? Would love to know if you think it has viability and if you think it has some potential. Again, guys, I'm Dan from CryptoCamacho.com. Hopefully this was useful, and thanks again for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on that red button. Talk to you later, guys.